Every year about this time since 1967, 30,000 people invade this rolling farmland 1 hour east of Toronto. They come to Mosport, the world-famous Canadian road racing circuit. They come to see the Canadian-American Challenge Cup, the Can-Am. Good afternoon and welcome to Mosport. I'm Paul Chater. Today's race will be the first of the 86 Can-Am season. Will victory go to one of the proven 5-liter, 550 horsepower Frissbees, or will the new, even more powerful Indy-type cars be the ones to beat? Jim Paulson, one of racing's most knowledgeable commentators, will be joining me to bring you all of the Can-Am action. We'll also take a look at what is fast emerging as America's foremost training ground for future racing stars, the Formula Atlantic class. Here's the hometown favorite, Horst Kroll from Toronto, the defending champion. He'll start from the pole. I asked him about his competition.
Well, I would say Dave Lamb from Texas, who's done a really good job for the first time in Mosport. He's got a car that is similar to mine, proven. I think he's probably the one that I would say is going to be the one to beat. And maybe Bill Adam if we get him the right car for this weekend.
Really, the only other car we feel like is going to be competitive or really be quick will be Horst, and we'll just have to go out and see what happens from there.
Horst has always been someone to save his cars. He drives intelligently, both from a standpoint of not risking himself on the track, but he has mechanical empathy. And I think because he builds and maintains these cars himself, he understands what goes on. If he grinds a gear, he knows how many teeth have been taken off by that grind. He's a very smart driver, and the pole position shows that he's quick, and I don't think anybody will challenge him.
You're third on the grid. Any ideas of where you think you'll finish?
Second would be nice, but first would be even nicer.
At this point, every one of the assembled drivers could be a winner. In just a few moments, they'll fire the engines and another Can-Am season will be underway. Will it hold glory or tragedy? Who will win and who will crash trying?
Although Can-Am racing is in the midst of rebuilding, the interest seems to remain high amongst the drivers, the constructors, and especially the spectators. Hello, I'm Jim Paulson at Mosport, the home of Can-Am racing in Canada. We're set to start the 1986 season. And the one interesting point for 1986, the interesting development that is going on in the reconstruction of Indy-type cars for this sort of competition. How will they do against the tried and true Can-Am competitor? Well, we're about to find out in 1986, and we'll be right back to start the Canadian-American Challenge.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot, Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
We're back at Mosport for the Can-Am, and Paul, let's meet the drivers.
Jim, the fastest qualifier in the number 37 Frissbee, Canadian Horst Kroll.
Always been sort of the type of fella that wants to go with the proven thing. Since I don't have the financial background, since the Frissbee is a proven thing and I know the car inside out, I thought it was common sense for me to stay with a product that will do the job for me, hopefully.
Also in the front row from Dallas, Texas, Al Lamb in the number 13 Frissbee.
I've never driven this kind of car in the rain. The cars I've driven, the Formula cars in the past, I love to drive in the rain. So it's just a matter of we'll have to get adjusted to the horsepower if we do actually go out in the rain. And if we do, then we'll go from there and see how it plays.
Another Canadian with a good chance is Jeremy Hill in his little 2-liter Photon Heart, number 00.
One of the world's top sports car racers, Bill Adam, personifies the Can-Am.
I spent half and half Canada to the U.S. now, so I still consider myself a Canadian. When I'm down in the U.S., even if I'm there for 4 or 5 months at a time, I still come home to Canada, and that's where I'm flying to. So when I fly out of Canada, I'm not going home to Miami.
Fifth on the grid is Bill Tempero from Colorado, a veteran IndyCar driver. He'll be right at home in his new March Chevy.
We think the cars are just as fast. These are full ground effects cars, and the Frissbees are flat bottom cars. So the ground effects cars do give you a little more stability as far as driving them. And I think they're safer because of the side pods. There's more structural work that goes into the car to have the side pods on them.
John Macaluso will start his 4th Can-Am season from the 6th place on the grid alongside Bill Tempero. John will be driving a Lola T332.
Canadian John Graham, who spends most of his time on the World Endurance Circuit, will start Frisbee number 36 from the 4th row.
The biggest difference in the new Can-Am car is the wheelbase is actually longer. And that's because of the Indy car setup, and therefore it should make it a little harder in the fast corners for them. I think the top Frisbees have a lot of downforce, and also those are new cars. So they're going to have to be debugged a lot. Guys like Lucelle and their setups, they're still having all the teething problems, and I think that's the big advantage for us.
Mauro Lanaro, originally from Italy, now living near Montreal. He's been racing for 20 years now in the March Cosworth number 7.
Starting his 5th Canadian-American Challenge season today will be Randy Zimmer, driving car number 14, a Mazda-powered Rondell.
Another contender in the 2-liter class will be David Locke, driving a hard-engine Chianelli March. He finished 3rd here at Mosport last September.
This will be Frank Chianelli's first Can-Am race. He'll have one of the new March Indy chassis. He's a veteran with 10 years experience, but has come mainly in oval track racing.
Sean Burgess, he'll be starting his March Mazda from 12th spot on the grid. His sign maker by trade. He's sponsored by a bottled water company.
Phil Compton is running the 2nd Texas American Racing Team car. It's a revamped Indy car.
The engine displacement is different. These are 355 cubic inch displacements opposed to 302 cubic inch displacement, and therefore the horsepower rating is greater. And the gearboxes on these Indy chassis are a little different than the road gearboxes. And there's a lot of development that goes in between the two to tune them even towards the road courses as opposed to Indy and the Cosworth setup for the speedways. And we're all real pleased with the output of the engines and the performance of the gearboxes so far.
At the back of the grid will be a serious threat to win this race, Dr. Lucelle.
I've done something different each year. I've never raced for some reason the same car twice, and I like to kind of do something different than what has been done, and rather than just take someone else's car that they've run and developed, I think it's more fun, more of a challenge to try to come up with some new twists and tricks of our own.
And rounding out the field will be lawyer Dennis Airy in the Stanley Steamer Mazda, car number 35.
Will it be Horst Kroll or Al Lamb who will win that important dash down into corner 1? As the engines fire and the cars move out onto their pace lap, we'll take a break and then return for the start of the 1986 Canadian-American Challenge Cup.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot, Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
Welcome back to Mosport. We're about to start the Budweiser Can-Am. Paul, ideal racing weather today. It's cool, cloudy. There's a chance of maybe some rain later, but looks good on the start.
The track is dry and it's fast as the cars make their way back to the start-finish straight behind the pace car. Pace car is off the track. They're nicely lined up 2 by 2. Horst Kroll and Al Lamb on the front row waiting for that green flag.
Okay, third row looking a little sloppy at this point. No, they pull into shape and there's a green, Paul.
And Al Lamb gets a jump on Kroll going into corner 1. Kroll down the inside into the first turn and he's got the lead. Horst Kroll in front.
Veteran knew what to do down there in corner 1, and you're right, he's out in front. That's where he wants to be. Now, can he stay there all day, Paul?
Bill Tempero is pulled into 3rd place, going into corner 2, 2.5-mile track. Corner 2 for the Brave guys is flat out.
The other big Canadian we're watching for is back and forth at this point, Mr. Bill Adam.
through the bottom of corner 2, heading for corner number 3. Horst Kroll in front, Al Lamb in second place, Bill Tempero third, and Bill Adam is in fourth place, followed by Jeremy Hill, the first of the 2-liter cars.
You know, as we go further back in this field, Paul, we're seeing Macaluso, Lanaro, Sell is already making moves early in this race.
The hairpin turn, corner number 5, the tightest spot on the circuit, leading onto the back straight. Kroll and Lamb on their way up the back straightaway with Bill Tempero in third spot and Bill Adam right on his tail in fourth.
With the power in this Can-Am machinery, Paul, often that's where we'll have problems in 5, but they all make it through safely, and on that back straight, they're looking fast.
Cresting the hill at the top of the straight, leading into corner number 8, which is the start of the S's. Horst Kroll in first place, car number 37 in second place. Right behind him now is Al Lamb, and they've pulled out a little bit from the rest of the field as they hit through corner 9.
Well, they're finishing up lap 1. You can bet all the pit crews are up against the wall here, and everything sounds in good shape at this point, Paul.
Horst Kroll with his foot right in it through corner 1. He's pulling out a little bit of an advantage at this point over Al Lamb. Into corner 2 over the crest of the hill. Lamb trying to keep up. We're waiting now the battle for third and fourth spot. There's Kroll down at the bottom of corner 2.
You know, we really thought that maybe Horst would run away with this one, but up to this point anyway, Lamb is really keeping him in view. Of course, these 2 cars are very similar, Paul.
And here's a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Lou Sell already moved up from the back of the grid. There's John Macaluso in front, Mauro Lanaro behind him, and Lou Sell trying to find a way around both of them.
It's amazing how wide those Can-Am cars can be when you're trying to get by 2 of them, Paul.
On the back straight again, Horst Kroll, number 37, the leader from Toronto. Kroll has been in more Can-Am races than anybody in this field.
You know, with Horst, even his daughter is involved in the world of auto racing now, Paul, so it's becoming a family affair. Look at this fight again.
Lou Sell, number 5, the dentist, trying to pick his way through some slower traffic and get up with the leaders.
You know, Macaluso and Lanaro, at this point, are not going to let the good doctor by. They're holding him off as our leaders come by one more time.
Here's the battle for third spot. Bill Tempero just barely in front of Bill Adam.
Amazed how Tempero is holding Bill Adam off. But let's keep in mind here, Bill Adams' first appearance in a Can-Am car in this event, Paul.
And there's Lou Sell. He's got around Mauro Lanaro. He's now on Macaluso's tail. Through corner 10, he's pulling alongside.
He's going to do it right in front of the main crowd in the front straight, Paul. Indeed he does. Dr. Lou Sell moving into 5th, ahead of Macaluso and Lanaro.
Now he can set off after the leaders. A little puff of smoke out of the back of Sell's car there through corner number 1. That could be a problem for him.
Let's hope it's not a bad sign. It's, in fact, Lanaro now trying to reel Macaluso in. He may get by.
There's the leader, Horst Kroll, on the back stretch once again. Horst won this race here a year ago. On the back straightaway from the helicopter, Horst Kroll pulling away from Al Lamb as they hit into corner number 8.
You know, we were kidding Horst on his 50th birthday, in fact, this very weekend, and this would be a nice birthday present if he can keep this pace up, Paul.
He's having a hard time of it now, trying to get away from Al Lamb. He's not giving Kroll any room at all. Down the front straightaway into corner number 1. Kroll set up beautifully.
Boy, he's got a nice line down there through corner 1. Of course, we could never guess the number of times Horst Kroll has made an appearance on this track, Paul, but he knows it like the back of his hand.
And Bill Adam has moved into third spot now. He's in front of Tempero as they go through corner 1. Bill Adam, a sports car racer by trade, in his first Can-Am event.
Yeah, Bill is really quite excited about this, and of course is a teammate for our front runner at this point, Horst Kroll. Here they come again.
Now Adam is going to have to try to get away from Tempero and hook up with the leaders as they go through corner number 3. Tempero driving one of the converted Indy cars, the first of that group.
The unanswered question at the start of this event, can the converted Indy cars dominate? Well, not at this point, Paul. The front 3 are Frissbees.
And Jeremy Hill in the pit lane. He's the leader of the 2-liter class and a favorite here at Mosport. He's pulling to a stop. There's smoke coming out of the back of his car, Jim. That could be it for him for today.
That's a shame. We had our Canadian in front in that 2-liter category. Here's our race leader coming by. He looks fine.
Al Lamb still on his tail. He's really not giving an inch to Kroll at all as they head down the front straightaway again.
They flash by. Jeremy Hill sitting in the pits, and oh, that's not a good sign. When that visor comes up, he is dejected and disappointed, Paul.
Back to corner 5, the leader, number 37, Horst Kroll. Al Lamb still in second place. Bill Adam in third spot as they head up the back straight one more time. And we've got yellow flags out, Jim, on the course. Yellow flags.
There's the sign then. No passing at this point. Not that Lamb really has a chance on our race leader at this stage of the event anyway, Paul, but there's Horst Kroll coming by safely. There could be a problem then on the course. Let's watch for it here.
He just passed a piece of wreckage in the middle of the back straight, Jim. This could be the reason for the yellow flag. A course-wide yellow flag. The pace car will probably come out soon.
Okay.
They're slowing down, going into corner number 10. There's Al Lamb, number 13, in second place. This will allow him to gain some ground on Kroll. And there's the pace car.
There we are. Lights are flashing. Pace car is out. There's the debris, Paul. We can make out the number 44. That's the problem.
That's Frank Chianelli. And there goes Jeremy Hill. They're going to try to get him back in this race.
Oh, look at this little push start. He's going down pit road. And it does. It fires up. He's ready. Jeremy Hill now back into the event in that 2-liter category. But can he regain the lead?
Now all the cars closing up behind the pace car. This is a big advantage for some of the drivers at the back, particularly Lucelle.
I'll tell you, and Bill Adam has got to be smiling at this point too, Paul, because it gives him a chance to tighten up that space between he and the two front runners here.
He worked hard to get past Bill Tempero. You know, Jim, Tex Arnold is the team manager for the Texas American team. His drivers, Bill Tempero and Phil Compton, are driving new wave Can-Am cars. Tex talked to us about building a Can-Am car by starting with an Indy car.
An Indianapolis type car with the long streamlined bodywork that goes over the driver cockpit down over the engine compartment. It's got the front wing, then it's got side pods that run the whole length of the car. Up front, we've got the air inlets for the water and oil radiators. Now, to make it a Can-Am car, to conform to the Can-Am rules, we have to add bodywork, extensions out here from the side pods, bodywork type pontoons, which go back over the rear wheels, making them very aerodynamic at high speed. Also, we have the front fenders, which are attached to the pontoons. Of course, as you can see, come down over the front wheels and are attached to the front wing. The other configuration I spoke of, or the other conversion change, is the engine compartment. In here, we have a 6-liter Chevrolet. The Cosworth has been removed.
And if you're wondering why Tex Arnold sounds the way he does, Tex is from New Hampshire, Paul.
Okay, Jim, here's the order after 10 laps. We're under the yellow flag, no passing conditions here at Mosport as course workers clear the wreckage from Frank Chianelli's accident. We'll be back for the restart.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot. Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
We are racing again at Mosport. As the green flag waves, Horst Kroll jumps ahead of Al Lamb going into corner 1.
It's tightened up the field considerably after the pace car was out, Jim. There's Kroll in the lead, Al Lamb in second.
Bill Tempero gets by Bill Adam. He moves into third spot now, Paul.
Those two are having a good race this afternoon.
I tell you, we've got Canadians running first and fourth. The Americans have taken over second and third at this point.
Heading into corner 4, one of the fastest parts on the track. It's Horst Kroll, number 37, in first place. Down into a part of the course they call the chute before they hit corner 5. There we are. Horst Kroll, number 37, in the lead. Al Lamb in second place.
Again, this can be the trickiest part of the course, Paul, but our Can-Am competitors here today have been handling it very nicely.
And powering up the back straight, 170 miles an hour, heading into corner number 8.
In corner 8, Horst Kroll and Lamb now beginning to pull away from that fight for third, Paul.
And still a close fight for third and fourth. Bill Tempero in third place, Bill Adam in fourth.
Race leaders coming back down through corner 1.
Horst Kroll, number 37, in front. Al Lamb, very close in second place.
You know, the Sports Car Club of America, which sanctions this championship, has high hopes these new cars will be rejuvenating the series. Paul spoke with SCCA Vice President Wally Reese.
The Can-Am series is on the threshold of some new growth and new development. We're seeing the change in the Indy cars, which are being, some people are saying are out of date. Well, they're out of date by about a week and a half. The new 87s that will run at the Speedway or something will have different wheels. So here at Can-Am is a full-bodied car, very front edge technology, highly competitive and quite inexpensive. We think that the Can-Am can come back and generate the kind of road racing excitement that we knew some time ago without the horrendous costs involved with the sport.
Horst Kroll coming up on a back marker, Paul.
That's Dennis Erie. Oh, boy, that was close.
I tell you, that was a near collision.
It allowed Al Lamb to close right up, though, when they were trying to get through that traffic. He's right on Horst's tail as they head up the back straightaway.
Oh, look at that. This could be the main threat we've seen on Horst Kroll, our race leader so far in this event. And can Lamb do it? Oh, look at this. Who's this here, Paul?
Red car parked on the side. That's John Graham's Frisbee. The other two Frisbees entered by Kroll Racing are now running first and fourth. John Graham out of it.
Well, that's a shame. Another Canadian entry, of course. John Graham had high hopes of doing well in this year's first Can-Am event, but not so today.
The leaders going around Phil Compton, one of the teammates there to Bill Tempero. Down the front straightaway, Horst Kroll in first place, Al Lamb in second. There's Tempero, he's in third place. Bill Adam making some hand motions there. It looks like he wants to get by.
We come again watching Tempero, and
Bill Adam is right on his tail.
Can't quite hang on to it, Paul, which is interesting. A little further back comes Dr. Lucelle.
Lou, who started this race from 15th position, is now running solidly in 5th, but he's smoking badly.
Yeah, I tried to spot when he came by, Paul, where that smoke was coming from. It's hard to...
Jim, it's raining at turn 5. It's been sprinkling for a few laps, but it's really starting to pour now.
Oh, goodness, now we're going to have some added drama in this year's Can-Am. We see flags waving.
There's Al Lamb. He's off the road, Jim. Spin right around onto the dirt, across the curb. He's on the track. Back off again. Boy, he's running on slick tires in this wet weather.
It's that combination, I think, Paul, the wet track, the slick tires, and of course 600 horsepower. Really a little too much maybe for the young Texan who was running in second at the time.
Oh, it's pouring,
okay.
Jim. He's got the car started again. But here, up at the end of the back straight, the track is absolutely dry.
Isn't that something? Looks like sunshine here, in fact.
Well, our leader, Horst Kroll, through corner number 9. He's not having any problems. You have to remember now, they're running on untreaded, dry tires, and it's dry on this half of the track.
Exactly. Now, the drivers obviously be watching their pit crews for those indications as to whether they'll get into rain tires or not.
This has to be a tough decision as Horst Kroll comes up behind John Macaluso heading into corner number 2. He's going to put him a lap down.
What do you do, Paul? Half the track is wet, half the track is dry. It's going to be a real gamble.
There's Tempero and Bill Adam trying to get around Tempero's teammate, who is Phil Compton. He couldn't find a way on either side. Now he's going to pass him going into corner 1. I wonder if that block was intentional, Jim.
Oh, they wouldn't do that in this competition, would they? Al Lamb just coming through, heading for the front straight, Paul.
He's going into the pit lane. Al Lamb in the pit lane. I think that spin probably shook him up a little bit.
You know, the main thing I think the crew will have in mind here is to just simply check the car over, and this could be the first one.
He should be on rain tires at this point. There's the leader, Horst Kroll. He's in corner number 3.
Well, he's not making a move toward that pit yet, Paul, so he's going to stick with what he's got on the car right now.
He's just gotten around Mauro Lanaro as they head into the wet part of the course. There's Al Lamb still in the pit lane. They're putting some fuel in.
Taking a little extra time there, too, Paul, so it's no real sprint to get back in the race, but he's dropping well back.
And he's still on dry tires. They haven't put the treaded rain tires on. As Al Lamb leaves the pit lane, he's back in 8th place now. Now look at this, Lucelle right up in the tail of Bill Adam. We got a 3-car dice going here with Tempero, Adam, and Lucelle nose to tail through corner 1.
That's interesting because Lou was smoking so badly just a few laps ago. Oh, look at this, he's smoking again.
Heading to corner 2, there's a lot of smoke pouring out of the left rear of Lucelle's march. He's trying, oh, here he goes, looking for some room around Bill Adam. Now he decides to stay back behind him a little bit.
Oh, or is Bill just sort of holding him off? Tempero comes through, Adam, then Dr. Lucelle.
Now this will be a real question of horsepower. Getting through corner 5, which is slippery, remember, now that it's pouring rain down there. The back straight still appears to be dry.
Okay, Dr. Lou seemed to have a little less power heading up into corner 6. Now, here he comes.
Ahead
of Tempero.
He blew by both of them up the back straightaway.
Isn't that something? So he certainly found power out there somewhere, Paul, and the smoke is maybe not the problem we thought it was.
Now, can he catch this man, Horst Kroll, number 37, our leader?
Okay, he'll try to reel him in here. They're diving down again into corner 1.
Smoke still pouring from the back of Sells' car, but it doesn't seem to be slowing him down.
I don't know, is it affecting his drive at all in the back? He was a little skitterish coming through there, Paul. The car kicked out a bit.
Okay, here's Kroll just tiptoeing through corner 5. That track is very slippery, and they're riding on dry tires still.
Horst climbs up, gaining power, heading into that straight. Dr. Lucelle coming through.
Handles the corner beautifully. He's getting through there much faster than the other cars. He has a full ground effects race car here. The car actually sucks itself down onto the road. It's paying off now that the track is wet.
It's an interesting Can-Am experiment, that car, Paul. In fact, there was some question as to whether it would even start today, but he's out there and very competitive.
There's Mauro Lanaro. He's got Lucelle right behind him, about to put him a lap down. Lucelle going into corner number 10. He's in hot pursuit of our leader, Horst Kroll.
Okay, let's see if Dr. Lou can do it. There's the blue flag for
Lanaro.
Lanaro.
Telling him to move over, let Lucelle through.
He's not going to do so, though, Paul. No, he's holding on to it again down into corner 1.
Lou is stuck behind the slower competitor. Car number 7, Mauro Lanaro, as they head into corner 2. Thought Lou may have tried to dive on the inside of him through corner 2. We'll have to see when he comes over the crest of the hill. There, he's got him. Into corner 3. He's got some clear running room in front of him now.
Okay, now he can set off after the race leaders one more time, Paul.
Everyone powering through corner 3, and then they have to slow right down for corner 5, which is not only a slow corner, but it's soaking wet.
In fact, it is starting to rain right around this entire 2.5-mile track, Paul. Wet everywhere.
Lucelle up to second place in the rain, however. There's a black flag, Jim.
It's out. This race is being stopped. That's what that indicates. The cars, drivers, and the spectators all heading for home, too. There's our race leader back at the start-finish line, Paul.
Here are the standings after 24 laps. Kroll, Lucelle, now in the pits, up to second place.
A little concerned about Dr. Lucelle here into pit row. Let's hope he even gets a restart. Finishing third at this stop, Bill Tempero. Bill Adam will be starting again at fourth. Randy Zimmer back in fifth, Paul.
As the fans, the mechanics, and the Can-Am drivers take cover, we'll take a break too. When we return, we're going to take a look at another class of racing which is gaining in popularity. It's called Formula Atlantic. We'll be back.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot, Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
Hold up for a few minutes due to rain. In fact, while the crews prepare for the restart at Mosport, let's go where the sun is shining, to Formula Atlantic.
The series is called the Easy Wider Challenge. The machines are single-seat, open-wheeled formula cars. Visually very exciting, mechanically close, and reasonably affordable. Formula Atlantic places the emphasis for success squarely upon the driver.
You know, races for Formula Atlantic are held all over the world, Paul, but it's really here in North America where the class has generated the most impressive list of new racing stars. It's a sort of a postgraduate school, I guess, for racing drivers. The top team managers do recognize success in this formula. They figure that once you can handle an Atlantic car, well, you're probably ready to take on Formula One or maybe even the IndyCar class. When you speak of graduates of Formula Atlantic, I think of K.K. Rosberg, who's gone on to become a world champion. Others have won the Indy 500, and of course major sports car championships as well. At a recent race, Paul Chater had a chat with longtime Formula Atlantic booster Rob Tanner.
Rob, Formula Atlantic generally considered it was and still is a training ground for young North American race drivers.
Well, I think history can only prove that, Paul. When we go back 1974, when Gilles Villeneuve began in his Formula Atlantic career, went on to do very, very well in Formula One. Other people more recently, obviously the last two Indy winners, Danny Sullivan, Bobby Rahal, have had a Formula Atlantic experience. Kevin Cogan, who finished second this year at Indy, also came out of the Formula Atlantic ranks. I think it just provides everything that a young driver needs in order to go on to further his career in the so-called big leagues.
Who are some of the young drivers we'll see today that will probably go on to IndyCar or Formula One?
Well, I think those that are destined or shall we say, trying very hard to get there, number one would be Scott Goodyear, who will be driving the number 14 Easy Wider car today. Also in that same league, Calvin Fish from England, who has come over to North America to try to take that route to the top. Michael Greenfield, who is only 21 years old, is right in there and will be very tough, and I'm sure would like to go on from where he is with the Atlantic car up into particularly the kart cars.
Are we seeing a resurgence of Formula Atlantic now?
certainly appears that way, Paul. I think it peaked in about 1976-77, went and lost some of its appeal for whatever reasons, and then through the hard work of some people on both coasts of the West Coast and the East Coast, that the series has come back, and with sponsors, major sponsors such as Easy Wider here, are starting to show some credibility and garner the fields or gain the fields that we've seen in the past.
Who's going to win the race today?
I like Scott Goodyear, but then I'm kind of partial being a Canadian.
Here we have a 1986 Rope RT4 Formula Atlantic car. This car is used in the Easy Wider Challenge Series, is a standard car used this year through most drivers. The car weighs 1,050 pounds, is powered by a BDA Cosworth motor, 245 horsepower, has an acceleration and stop time from 0 to 100, and back down to 0 in 6.2 seconds, very, very quick. The car is an open-wheel, single-seater Formula machine, a perfect training ground for Indy cars and Formula One. This particular car comes with everything identical to those vehicles, has adjustable sway bars inside the cockpit, adjustable brake bias, has a 5-speed Hewland transmission, all the gauges that you would find on the Indy and Formula One cars. Very large tires, very large wings, some ground effects. Perfect training for Formula One and Indy cars.
Paul, it's earlier in your racing career. You've chosen the Formula Atlantic Series. Do you see it as a good stepping stone to other forms of racing?
Yeah, it's a car that relates to an Indy car or a Formula One car with the chassis adjustments. And you can see by all the people who have done it where they're at, you know. Rosberg and Kogan and Ray Hall, all the good ones are up there, and they've all done Formula Atlantic.
What's next for you after Formula Atlantic? IndyCar or Formula One an ideal?
We're going to do this for 2 years, and I'm not going to jump into anything right away. I still have a long way to go. I want to do Indy cars before I do Formula One. Formula One is kind of political. I'd rather do Indy cars and stay here in America.
Paul, you come from one of America's great racing families. Your dad is an IndyCar champion, your brother's Trans Am champion. How much help have they been to your career?
Oh, they've been a big help. They taught me a lot, everything I know. I mean, there's a little pressure on me, like when I race with Trans Am and then my brother's on the pole and he wins, and then it's like everybody's looking at me like, how come you're not there, you know? But they helped me out a lot. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, obviously. I mean, they've helped me out a lot.
Michael, you've had some experience in go-karts and Formula Ford. Now you're in Formula Atlantic. Do you see it as a stepping stone to other kinds of racing?
Oh, by all means. It's the biggest stepping stone. A lot of top drivers have come out of it. Michael Andretti, Bobby Rahal, KK Rosberg. I would think it would be the best stepping stone for anybody. It's the best thing you can do. Get some horsepower, learn to drive a car with some horsepower. There's no other alternatives. You have to do this series.
Where do you want to go from here? What do you see Formula Atlantic doing for your career?
I think Formula Atlantic, I think it's recognized as a really tough series by a lot of big racing teams, you know, Shearson, IndyCars. A lot of IndyCar guys have done Atlantic. They've seen what's come out of it, and I think it's pretty important that I get some recognition in Atlantic.
And that's the story on Formula Atlantic. Remember the names of these young drivers. You'll be hearing a lot more from them. Meanwhile, back at Mosport in Canada, we're about to get a restart after that rain delay. We'll be right back.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot. Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
We're back at Mosport. The drivers back in their cars. The lights flashing on the pace car. Craig Hill about to lead this field out one more time, Paul.
And the difficult decision for these drivers there. Horst Kroll is still sitting there in the pit lane, Jim. So I was going to say the difficult decision here is because the track is still damp. Do they run on wet tires or did they run on dry tires? Obviously, Kroll hasn't made that decision yet.
Look at this. Pace car is coming around. Dr. Lucelle then will lead. Here we are, side by side.
Bill Tempero up with Sell. There's Kroll still sitting there. His crew putting on wet tires. Now, those are rain tires on the front of that car. They're just trying to get them tightened down.
Oh, look at this. The hammer comes out, Paul. So they're having a problem here in replacing that tire. And yet, which tire is it he's going with?
As the pace lap continues, there's Lucelle, Bill Tempero, Bill Adam behind him, Randy Zimmer, number 14, in fourth spot. Sell weaving back and forth to heat up those tires. The cars have been stopped for a long time.
Okay, now I believe Dr. Lewis gambled on the dry tire, and yet we still see rather wet sections in this course. Whichever way you go, Paul, it's going to be a gamble for each of these competitors.
Sells on dry tires, Tempero and Adam behind him on wet tires. Horst Kroll, we don't know what he's got on now. No, he's got wets on. There, he's treaded tires, but they're holding him at the end of the pit lane, Jim.
Isn't that interesting now? They're not allowing him to join up on the back of the field here, who are following the pace car around. That's a red light at the end of pit lane.
Now he's waving for his crew.
What is this? Maybe he's changed his mind here, Paul. Pace car comes through.
Down at corner 5, there's Lucelle, Bill Tempero, Bill Adam, Randy Zimmer, Mauro Lanaro behind Zimmer as they go through corner 5, and Horst Kroll still sitting in the pit lane. This is going to cost him dearly.
Oh, look at this. They're pushing the car back now. What has Horst opted for? Looks like he's going to gamble. Those are wet tires there now. He may be going for the dry tire, Paul.
They were putting the jacks under the car. There's a pace car into the pit lane. Green flag, Lucelle, Bill Tempero up the inside. Beautiful pass, outpowering all the way down the straight.
And Horst Kroll still sits in pit row. Looked like Tempero leading indeed as he comes down through corner 1, heading for corner 2.
The race indeed underway. Bill Adam in second place. Lucelle now back to third as Kroll sits in the pit lane.
In fact, Dr. Lou being challenged here at this point as they go over the hill. He'll be back in fourth.
Now Lou's running on dry tires. The track is still damp. You can see the wet patches here and there as Bill Tempero comes through corner 3 in the lead. Bill Adam in second place. Obviously the rain tires are the right choice at this point.
Okay, still very slippery conditions out here on the course. Dr. Lou holding off the rest of the field at this point, but they are really challenging him, Paul.
Into corner 5, there's the leader, Bill Tempero, number 15. Bill Adam, number 38 in second place. They're running on wet tires. You can see all the water on the edge of the track as they head up the back straightaway.
It is slippery. We saw him just slide out a little bit too, coming out of corner 5, so it's still tricky out here. And look at this, Horst Kroll still in the pits. The crew finishing up now, I believe. Look at those eyes. He's got to be a little tense. This whole field is running away from him at this point, Paul.
He's going to be a lap down by the time they get him out of here. Okay, now they're pulling the jacks out.
Okay, those tires being rolled away as the leaders come through.
And it's Bill Adam. Bill Adam in front now. He's past Tempero up the back straightaway. Horst Kroll's teammate, number 38, Bill Adam, in his first Can-Am race through corner 10. Okay, the jacks are down. Kroll's ready to go.
Okay, Bill out in front on the wet tire. Horst has gone for the dry tire. That'll be his gamble. He's got a green. He's on the track. He's ready to race.
He's in fourth place. The leaders have gone by. He's more than a lap down now. Bill Adam in front. Bill Tempero in second place. Lucelle in third. Horst Kroll in fourth now, but more than a lap back.
I don't think Horst has had a challenge like this in ages, not in Can-Am competition. He certainly had mechanical problems in the past, but this was strictly a tire gamble. And as you mentioned, Paul, he's over a lap back. He's going to get by these race leaders before he's even on the same lap as they are.
And it's going to be tough because we've got a good two-car fight in the front here between Bill Adam and Bill Tempero.
Okay, rest of the field stream by. Still a fight, of course, for the two-leader group. They've got their own fight going on a little further back as our race leader comes through. And that is, in fact, Bill Adam. He's got to be ecstatic at this point, Paul. First ever Can-Am race for Bill, and he's leading it at this point.
And Bill Tempero now in second place and chasing. There's Dr. Lucelle up the back straightaway. He's back in third spot. Bill Adam through corner 8, heading into corner 9. You can see the track is still very wet in spots.
Yeah, a line is beginning to dry out for the competitors, Paul, but when you look at that back straight again, around corners 5 up into 6, Still a river back there.
Goes Bill Adam down the front straightaway, pulling away from Tempero. And there's Kroll. He's trying to unlap himself now.
Okay, this is his first challenge for today. He's got to get by them. Then he's got an entire course, 2.5 miles to catch up to that group one more time, Paul. It seems like an impossibility at this point.
This race is turning into a tire war. Here's Bill Adam in front on wet tires. The track is drying. They don't know whether it's going to rain again. Bill Tempero also on wet tires in second place, and Kroll, who's in fourth, trying to unlap himself, running on dry tires.
Well, there's the key here, Paul. Will it shower one more time? Will Bill have made the right gamble, or will the boss?
It's a tough decision. With Bill Adam in front, car number 38. There's Kroll. Now he's past Tempero. So he's back.
To reel Bill in.
He's back on the same lap with second place, Bill Tempero. Now he's got to catch his teammate and unlap himself.
And look at Dr. Lucille trying to regain some ground too. And don't forget, he's still one of our front runners here.
There's Bill Adam through corner number 9, through the wet spots, and Horst Kroll now trying to catch his teammate. Lucille ahead of Tempero. He obviously powered by up the back straightaway. He's going to lose some in the slippery corners, though, because he's running on dries.
A little deceptive at this point, Paul, because we're watching these 4 cars running pretty well in a row, and yet Horst is well back.
Look at this, Jim. Here's Tempero on the front straightaway. Very slow.
Oh, look at this. He's going to pull off. He's literally heading right back to Gasoline Alley, Paul. He is totally out of it.
He's not even going to stop in the pits. Now, look at this. The boss of the team, Horst Kroll, trying to unlap himself behind Bill Adam, number 38.
I don't believe there are any team orders here. Is Bill going to let him by? Actually, at this point, why not, Paul? Because, as we mentioned, Horst, the boss is still a lap back. There he goes.
There goes Horst. He's now on the same lap with Bill Adam, but he's got a little under 2.5 miles to catch up, and very little time to do it. I think there are about 18 laps remaining in the race now.
Best thing for Bill now, of course, is to try to tuck in behind Horst and hold on to him as best he can. But no, he's blowing that.
Bill's going to let Horst get away. Adam has to be concerned as his track dries that his rain tires won't last.
Look at this. Now Dr. Lucille is catching up to Bill Adam, and he's going to make his move to get by.
Okay, Lucille going after the lead. There's Kroll. He's unlapped himself through corner 5 up the back straightaway. Well, let's see what's happened with the leaders now. And Lucille's in first place. Bill Adam in second.
New race leader. Now, once again, Bill, we're saying please tuck in behind the race leader. At least try to hold on to Dr. Lucille at this point.
Well, Lou's running on dry tires through the wet part of the pavement there, but he's flying. He's just pulled away from Adam up the back straightaway.
Bill has dropped back. Now, here is where the tire gamble has not paid off for Bill. He is going with the wet tire. Dr. Lou and Horst are running on the dry tires. And obviously, it's to their advantage at this point, Paul.
The switch to dry tires is paying off. Lucille in the lead, Bill Adam second, Horst Kroll third. Mauro Lanaro in a 2-liter car is running at 4th spot through corner number 3. There's our leader, Lucille, car number 5.
Okay, watching Dr. Lucille, our race leader, looks very good. What happened to all the smoke we saw out of his car earlier, Paul? That problem has certainly been rectified. He's running very nicely and looks very clean at this point.
Well, I guess they were able to fix it, Jim. There's Bill Adam, number 38. He's going to put a lap down on John Macaluso as they head up the back straightaway.
Macaluso in 5th overall at this point, so he's standing well in his
Here's Adam. Okay, here's Bill Adam, but where's Lucille?
No, that's an interesting change. What's happened here? Oh.
There he is, back, coming into corner 8, Jim. Lucille, he's barely moving.
Isn't that a shame? We were just commenting on how smooth he looked, and then suddenly the car is gone. Can't imagine what might have gone wrong here. The arm is in the air.
He's not even going to make it to the pits. And
he's coasting.
There we are, back leading this race again. Number 38, Bill Adam.
Bill Adam, our race leader one more time in his first Can-Am.
He has lucked into this one because Lucille was just charging away from him. They're pushing Sell's car right off the road.
Okay, he's well out of harm's way as our race leader comes by.
Bill Adam through corner number 9. He's doing very well at this point.
Well, now we're watching for our second place man, Horst Kroll. He should be in view shortly, Paul.
Now, Horst has got a lot of ground to make up. He just unlapped himself a few laps ago. Bill Adam back in first place. His teammate Kroll in second.
Bill still looking for the wet spots out here on the track, of course, and Horst Kroll, he'll avoid them, if there are any left, in fact.
35 seconds behind. There's Horst Kroll, number 37. His crew just showed him a sign that said he was 35 seconds behind this man, number 38, Bill Adam.
Now that is phenomenal. Kroll has really got his foot to the floor, and he is after Mr. Bill Adam. Well, can he pull it off before the end of this race, though, Paul? I swear every now and then we're seeing a little spot of smoke out of Horst Kroll's car. I wonder if we haven't got some problems developing there.
But it's to his advantage at this point, the condition on the track. As you can see, it's almost dry. Bill Adam trying to run through the damp portions to save his rain tires from blistering. He comes out of corner 10. You can see a little bit of a slide there. That's an indication that his tires are going away on him.
Well, it didn't take Bill long to readapt from sports cars to this very heavy and powerful Can-Am machinery. Both of our front runners now at this point, of course, very knowledgeable as far as this track is concerned, Paul. So who will be the most crafty? Who's got the best tires?
You can see the difference, 10 seconds behind.
10 seconds. Look at that.
That is incredible. He's picked up 25 seconds on his teammate Bill Adam.
But it's certainly more smoke, too. I'm seeing out of the back of Horst Kroll's car there, Paul. So that has to be of some concern. I wonder if Horst will let it bother him. You have to wonder what's running through his mind at this point. He's after his backup man, Bill Adam, in the front running Frissbee.
Into corner 5. The leader, Bill Adam, number 38. He's got to be worried about those tires.
Trying to get some of that wet on the side of the track. He can't quite gain it, Paul, as he heads up on that back straight.
There's Mauro Lanaro. He's in third place now. Ooh, off the road, right in front of Horst Kroll, who's running in second.
Well, that's it. Lanaro now back in third, Horst Kroll in second, and they almost had a little get-together down there in corner 5, Paul.
There goes Bill Adams, sliding again, coming out of corner 10.
Boy,
now, where's Kroll? He's just the length of the pit straight behind now.
He's got him in view. He literally has him in view now.
That's a great incentive when you're chasing another driver.
He knows he can catch him, but that is, again, more smoke. A little concern there. But once he's made the gear change, Paul, everything seems to settle down in the Frissbee that Kroll is piloting.
Look, only a lap and a half to go, Jim, in this race. Bill Adam in front, but just barely in front of Horst Kroll, who is charging.
Look at Horst move, and you're right. There's still a few seconds, though. Can Horst gain them as they head on back up for the start-finish straight? And, of course, that last lap signal, Paul.
And no traffic between them and the start-finish straight, which will make for a very fast last lap. There comes Bill Adam through corner 9. Kroll right on him now as they head onto the front straightaway to get the last lap sign.
The crowd is ecstatic. They're on their feet. Bill Adam tries to gather a little bit of damp off to the side of the track. Will it help him at this point, though, Paul?
But they're showing Kroll plus 4 seconds. That, of course, was on the previous lap. It's more like a 4 feet advantage at this point that Bill Adam has over his team leader, Horst Kroll, into corner 2.
Look at the people. The crowd is jumping and screaming. I don't recall an all-Canadian battle like this for a Can-Am win ever before.
Here goes Kroll. He's on the outside going into corner 3. He's outbraked Adam. He's done it. Horst Kroll, with less than half a lap to go, has got the lead back.
Well, it's been a while since we saw number 37 out ahead of number 38, but this, of course, is the moment in the race when you want that to be the case if you're Horst Kroll, Paul.
And what a 50th birthday present for Kroll.
Here he comes, down for the checkered flag, arm in the air. Race winner. Happy 50th birthday, Horst.
Night. Lights. Rain. You know the feeling, wondering if you could stop if you had to. But now there's Arcot, Bridgestone's surprising Arcot S371 radial. A tire that doesn't compromise in mileage or performance or stopping power. There's never been a tire like it. Arcot, patented by Bridgestone, where new ideas take hold. Call 1-800-453-9000.
Well, what can we say? I tell you, it has been one of the wildest finishes we have seen in a Can-Am race since its inception here at Mosport today. And as Horst Kroll eases his way out of the car, Horst, you dominated the earlier part of our Budweiser Can-Am this year. You had no problem there. Except for that tire change, I would almost have thought that it was a script you had written. We've never seen you drive so perfectly, so well.
I actually, for a long time, I didn't look at the blackboard. I didn't know who was in front of me, but when I finally looked at it and I said Bill is behind me, so in front of me, so I says, well, it really doesn't make any difference, but I go for it anyhow, because I told him whoever is in front, there's no team orders. You go and win it.
Well, here's Bill Adam. Hey, Bill. Our race winner, Horst Kroll, leading an all-Canadian finish, by the way. Our next event at the Summit Point Raceway in West Virginia. We hope you'll join us for that. I'm Jim Paulson for Paul Chater. We'll see you again soon.